we build up to Prime Minister's visit to UAE, let's quickly talk about what all happened through the G7 summit that was attended by Prime Minister in Germany. A much talked about visit, and of course the key highlights that Times Now continues to put out. The venue of G7 viewers has a deep Indian connection, with visitors being welcomed by Lord Ganesha and a motif of elephant running through the facility. After the warm welcome, the energy of Lord Ganesha, they say, binds the castle to Indian thought and philosophy through the motif of the elephant found running across the facility. And to make things explicit, in case doubt exists in the mind of the visitor, a restaurant has been named after Ganesha, the Lord of New Beginnings. The Indian connection is also reflected in the naming of several yoga and wellness centers, including Ananda Spa Restaurant, Jiva Mukti Yoga Studio and Shanti Giri Spa. So that's how there is a deep Indian connect to where the G7 summit took place. The Indian connection of the venue is also attributed to the owner, Mr. Dietmar Muller, who lived in India in his youth, was involved in charitable activities and had made investment in the information technology sector. He'd stated in an interview that the reason for his deep India connection is that the inspiration of individual freedom is very pronounced. Inspired by Indian architectural designs and woodwork, Mr. Dietmar has brought the majority of floor-to-ceiling windows, furniture and curtains for his hotel from India and other Asian countries, and that's why we're saying that there is certainly a deep Indian connect to where the G7 summit took place in Germany. Let me go across to Srinjoy Chaudhary as we build up to Prime Minister's UAE visit. Srinjoy, and that's a very, very important visit this time around, especially given the controversy that blew up across the world around the Prophet Rao. But keeping up with the Indian connect to this venue, what more can you tell us?
Well, the important point is that Dietmar Muller has been in India for many, many years. And as a result, he has been inspired by Indian philosophy, Indian theology, and so on, which is why the Ganesh is such an important motif in the castle. And Schloss Elmau is a very old castle, but this Ganesh motif is a newer entrant as far as the castle is concerned. As you rightly said, the restaurant there is called Ganesh. So it's very important to note that there was something very Indian in the G7 meeting at the Schloss Elmau. That apart, you spoke about the visit to UAE, and yes, you're right, it's a very important visit for 3 or 4 reasons. One, of course, is the fact that shortly after this, perhaps next month, there will be this virtual meeting where 4 countries will be involved, and they are the United States, India, Israel and the UAE. And this is the first meeting of a kind that will ever take place. The second and the most important point here is that the Prime Minister goes to UAE after the Prophet problems. And the Prime Minister has the opportunity, and India has already said all this, that there is complete religious